The steps to follow when pressing the red emergency button on the pole by the level crossing are 1. Push, press, run. 2. Run, push, press. Or 3. Press, push, run. Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. It is now finally May here in Taiwan and in the rest of the world, which means that summer is approaching, and this summer is going to be very special because this is the first summer in Taiwan when I have a scooter and a scooter license. I took my license last year and that was one of the most challenging things I have ever done. So in order to make the process a lot easier for any lost foreigner just like me, I decided to create this mini series where I will walk you through the preparation, examination and frustration you have to deal with in order to get the scooter license. But before we continue with this video, I just want to let you know that you have everything you could possibly need down in the description below. You have the address to the DMV, you have all the links to the study material, and a list of all the things you need to bring there as well. But first things first, and the absolute first thing you need to take care of before even starting to study for this test is a proper helmet. You will understand why in a second. Now, I decided we'd go with one of these, which is the Seoul SF6 full frontal helmets. I know you shouldn't be wearing these during the summer in Taiwan because it just gets super hot, but we're in Taiwan, so I'm Chengde. Plus, this comes with built-in sunglasses. So, the whole process starts with a mandatory safety class, which is basically a 90-minute video with a message that helmets are good, buses are bad. It is then time for the health test, which is just a quick 15 minutes test to check your vision, your finger strength, and you also need to do 2 squats to make sure that you can get on and off the scooter. After that, it's time for a digital multiple choice test from hell, which we're gonna cover in a lot more detail later in this video. And then the fourth and final test is the driving test from whatever place is worse than hell. Denmark, I guess. Now I know that this is a lot of information, but it's actually a lot easier than it sounds because you can do all of this all in one single place, which is the DMV. And I'm gonna assume that if you're a foreigner, you most likely live in Taipei. So all you have to do is to Google Taipei DMV and you will find this address at Badelu, where you can do anything related to your scooter and license except taking the test. So in order for you to actually find the location to take the test, you need to find the second DMV up in Shilin, which is not the first result on Google Maps. And here is also a list of all the things that you need to bring to the DMV in order to take the test. One thing worth mentioning is that regarding the ARC that has to be valid for more than 6 months, it actually doesn't have to be valid 6 months from the time you're taking the test. So as long as you have an ARC with a total time period of 6 months or more, you can take the test on the first day of the ARC or the last day if you want. So there's 3 things you need to know about this test. 1, it's a digital multiple choice test. 2, the test is available in English, so you actually don't need to know a single word in Chinese. Now, you actually do need to know 1 word in Chinese in order to pass this test, which ironically is Ingwen, which is Chinese for English. And the third thing you need to know about this test is that there is no official English study material for this test. So, how do you actually study for this test? Well, there's 2 different ways. 1, you can check out the DMV's website. Again, you have all the links in the description below, where you can actually take an online version of this test and you will get 50 random questions thrown at you. You answer them and you will get your result and feedback in real time. The second option is that you can visit DMV's website, link in the description, and you can actually access their entire database of all the possible questions. So the way it works is that during the actual test, you will get 50 random questions covering a bunch of different topics, but their entire database is over 3,000 questions. And if you're still watching this video, I'm assuming that you're actually a foreigner trying to take the Taiwanese scooter license. And if so, you better pay attention right now, because what I'm about to tell you will most likely be the difference between you failing and passing the test. So on their website, you can search for all the different sample questions in several different languages. But in this case, we're only interested in the English questions. So we search for English and find the 4 different documents filled with sample questions. But, and this is where you have to pay super close attention, because if we instead search for Ingwen, which is Chinese and means English, you will get the full list of all 8 different documents you need to study in order to pass the test. Now, I can see that some of you are thinking, but Lucas, how hard could it possibly be? Do you really have to study all 3,000 questions? I mean, most of it must be common sense, right? Okay, fair enough. Let's take a quick look at some of the example questions and see what you think. Let's start easy. What does this sign mean? Does it mean bump ahead? No. This sign means bump ahead. This sign means bumpy road. Okay, leveling up. If you have any objection to the liability report made by the Accident Assessment Committee, you should 1. Just obey. 2. May request the reassessment authority reviewing your case. 3. You may take legal action. Okay, but not all questions can be that detailed, right? I mean, for some, you must be able to use common sense, or at least be familiar with it because you've been a passenger before. Next question. What is this cop trying to tell you? 1. Vehicles on the right must stop. 2. Vehicles on the left may proceed. 3. Vehicles on the right must pass through quickly. 3. Vehicles on the right must pass through quickly. Why? Because the question is from the perspective of the cop. How stupid is this? I have no idea who made these questions, but don't worry, it's getting worse. The steps to follow when pressing the red emergency button on the pole by the level crossing are 1. Push, press, run. 2. Run, push, press. Or 3. Press, push, run. Oh, you thought that was confusing? How about the next one? Low tire pressure can cause 1. Tire wear on both sides of the tires. 2. Tire wear on the center of the tires. Or 3. Lighter steering. Now, this is quite straightforward. I understand. This makes sense. Now, let's take another one on the same topic. Low tire pressure can cause 1. Tire wear on both sides of the tire. 2. Tire wear in the middle of the tires. Or 3. Excessive fuel consumption. So let's just try to take a moment and analyze what we're dealing with here. We have the exact same question. 2 of the alternatives are exactly the same, but in one of the questions it's correct, the second time it's incorrect. Now, full disclaimer, and I'm truly sorry if anyone has been watching this video thinking that I was gonna be able to provide you with the life hack of a lifetime or find a way to cheat the system and to pass this test. I can only tell you what I did to pass this test, and in order for me to pass the English test, I actually picked up a Chinese book that explains all the signs, rules, and violations with some photos and examples as well. Like, how is this from the right? I don't understand. And it's first then you will actually realize that the press, push, and run in the example earlier refers to pressing the emergency button and the train crossing, push the scooter away from the rails, and then run away from the situation. Which is something that you have no clue about if you're only studying by taking the online test multiple times. So it might sound super obvious, but the best way to actually pass the test is to actually study for it. And who knows, maybe you also will score a perfect 100 on the test. If there's anything that I haven't covered, if you still have any questions after watching this video or checking out the description, please leave a comment below. And if you've actually passed the test, then please also leave your feedback and comments or any tips or tricks down in the comments as well, so we can all help each other to passing the written test, so we can all move over to the driving test, which we will cover in the next video. So please make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. That was everything for this video. Please like this video if you found it useful. Please share this with someone who is thinking about taking the Taiwanese scooter license, and see you all out on the roads. Push, push, run, press. Push, run, press. Press.